Hello and welcome to H. Greg Lux. Here I have a 2015 Bentley Continental GT V8. This car came with an accident reporter on the rear of the vehicle, and it has one previous owner. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you around the car. We're going to take a look at it to see if there's any kind of damage, including scratches, dents, chips, or anything else. Here at H. Greg Lux, we want to be as transparent as possible and give you total peace of mind. So if there's anything you need to know about this car, we will let you know. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go panel by panel, checking out the vehicle. And we're going to start right here with the front bumper. Let's take a look. Front bumper's looking good. I'm not seeing any sort of damage. What about the hood? And again, we just want to know if this car has any scratches, any dents, any chips, or any other kind of damage. The hood seems to be in excellent condition, and we can move on to the driver's side of the vehicle. Starting with this fender. Looks perfect. I'm not seeing any kind of damage. What about the wheel? And this wheel is in perfect condition. There's no sign of curve rash or any other kind of damage. Now let's move on to the door. Door looks perfect. Again, I'm not seeing any sort of damage. Now, what about this fender? Again, I'm not seeing any sort of damage. This fender seems to be in excellent condition, and we can move on right here to this wheel. And just like the first one, this one has no sign of curve rash or any other kind of damage. It's in perfect condition as well. Now we can move on to the back of the vehicle. And this is where the damage was reported according to Carfax. So let's take a close look. Rear hood looks perfect. What about the bumper? Again, I'm not seeing any sort of damage. Everything's looking good here. We can move on now to the passenger side, starting with this fender. And again, we want to know if there's any sort of damage to this vehicle. Perfect. What about the wheel? And this wheel is in perfect condition. There is no sign of damage. Now let's go ahead and move on to the door. And this door panel is in excellent condition as well. I'm not seeing any sort of damage. What about the last fender? And once again, this fender's in excellent condition, just like the rest of the exterior. What about the last wheel? And I can safely say that all of the wheels of this car are in perfect condition. We can now move on to the interior of the vehicle, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the seat. We're going to check to see if there's any kind of wear and tear, any kind of damage at all. And what I do notice is just some wear and tear right here in the sides, as you can see on the camera, right here in the bottom, and in the other side as well. Alright, now let's move on to the door panel, where again we just want to know if there's any sort of damage, any type of wear and tear to the leather, to the fabric, to anything at all. And I do notice some wear and tear right here on the side of the armrest, and I notice a small scratch right here. Perfect. We can now move on to the other side of the vehicle, the passenger side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're first going to take a look at the seat. We want to know if there's any type of wear and tear, any type of damage. And the only thing I notice is just some very minor wear and tear right here on the side, and some along this side as well. But overall, the seat's in great condition. Now let's move on to the door panel, where again, just like the other side, we want to know if there's any sort of damage, any type of wear and tear to the leather, to the fabric. Everything's looking good. I'm not seeing any sort of damage. The door panel is in excellent condition. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at the back seats, starting with this one on the right side of the vehicle. Looking good. If there's anything I notice, it's just some wear and tear right here on the headrest and some along the side. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the midsection. Looking good. Just some wear and tear right here. And now let's move on to the last seat. Again, we're checking to see if there's any kind of wear and tear, any kind of damage. Looking good. Perfect. Now with the car on, I want to show you a couple things. The first of which is the mileage of this vehicle. As you can see in the middle of the dashboard, this car has 18,711 miles. The other thing I want to show you is that this car comes with a GPS system, as you can see right there on the screen. And it also comes with a backup camera. Alright, now let's go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel. We want to know if there's any sort of damage all around the leather, any kind of wear and tear. Everything's looking good. I'm not seeing any sort of damage. If there's anything I notice, it's just some wear and tear right here on the right side, on the bottom, and some on the left side, again right here on the bottom. Now let's move on to the buttons. We want to know if there's any scratches on them, and on this side we see a small scratch right there. What about the other side? This side looks good. What about the mid console? We want to know if there's any scratches on the screen, on the knobs, the buttons, or anywhere else. Everything's looking good. The only thing I noticed is just some very minor scratches right here on this panel. But other than that, the mid console is in excellent condition. Let's now take a look at the trunk, and we want to know if there's any type of wear and tear along the sides or along the floor of the trunk. And as you can see, there's no kind of damage at all. The trunk is in perfect condition. Now, something I do want to mention right now is that this car comes with a battery charger. Before we finish off this video, let's take a look at the engine. We just want to take a quick look. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact one of our representatives here at H. Greg Lux.